Bang Radio 103.6, we are bang.com, Chucky online. I got Donaeo in here with me.
Yeah.
This is taken from his brand new album, it's called My Love, which features DJ Q, who I believe produced it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And
the album's called?
DJ's called The Forest of Zephyr.
It's out right now. By the way, big up Mega Man.
Big up Mega.
He was supposed to be here yesterday, innit?
He always listens in on our combos though.
It's alright, it's cool. Now listen.
Yes.
So obviously we had a good little conversation about management and stuff.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about radio.
Yes.
So when somebody like you puts an album together,
yeah,
and you start looking at radio, and you start looking at where you can get your songs played, do you find that it is very limited in order to get your songs on the radio today, as opposed to how it might have been 5 years ago?
Only because there's not... Yes and no. I say yes because... no, firstly I say no because most radio stations, or there's always a specialist DJ that will play something that I play, because I've made those relationships, and I always make the music... I always make sure that I make music at such a quality that you can't really tell me no. But I would say it is also hard because there's not as many radio stations, because now it's mainly a mainstream radio thing. There's not really a lot of pirates out there now, or a lot of pirates that are as popular. There was a time when, you know, there was certain pirates that were just as popular as the mainstream, and there was so many things. So, but when it comes to radio, it's like you hollered me yesterday, was like, look, you need to come down. So I've never really found it hard to get on radio, and I think if you make the right songs.
That's interesting, because that's a rant that I see a lot happening on Twitter. I find a lot of artists say, you know, talk about radio a lot, and Gets, for example, he just tweeted randomly the other day, and he just said no radio. Like a lot of artists are finding it difficult to get consistency. I mean, it's cool being able to get, you know, a specialist here or there, but the playlist things seems to be quite difficult, right?
I find the reason I don't really complain about radio is because I've got a mailing list, a few thousand people. I've got the internet. I've got my SoundCloud. Do you know what I mean? I think like artists of today shouldn't really complain, you know, because like music. Once you get into the music business, like you're gonna, when you make a body of work, you know, like some of the records that you make are gonna be strictly for clubs. Some of the records that you make are gonna be radio records, and you have to look at that and be like, okay, what record suits what? Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like, it's not just about your opinion, it's about everyone else's opinion, and it's like, you don't... Radio has its place, do you know what I mean? But then there's loads of other places as well. If you've made a record, you know deep down in your heart if this is or if it isn't a radio record. Like I got a record in the Forest of Zephyr, called You Don't Know About Me 2, right? This record is full up of swearing. It's so full up of swearing, right? If I do a clean edit, you might as well take out the verses. So I'm not going to give that to you and say, yo, play this record. I'm going to give you My Love. Because when I made it, once I finished it, I was like, okay, do you know what? This actually sounds like it could be a radio record. So I'll give you that. I'll let you play Leave Me Alone. Like, I Don't Play had bare swearing on it. And then I kind of thought, well, this doesn't represent who I am now. And it's a bit... the original version was aggressive for no reason. So I rewrote the verses, and it just happened to be that there's no swearing in the verses now.
Okay.
But now that's a radio record. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like, you have to look at your music and be like, who is this really for? And then work out how you're going to market it. Some products are not made for radio. Some products are. And as an artist, you've got to be honest with yourself and say, hey, because a lot of these artists I see complaining.
That's the problem that I think Dizzy might have had, though. I think Dizzy, in his mind, he made a record for radio. Yeah. But he was told it wasn't really for radio in a sense. Yeah. So it got him frustrated, because he's thinking to himself, but I've made a radio record. And he's, you know, artists like yourself might find yourself in that same predicament where you say, all right, this is for radio, but radio don't take it.
I would say this, for me, myself, I can't really speak on Dizzy's situation because I don't know his relationship. But again, if I believe in a record and radio are not going to push it, there's loads of other means I have to push that record. And eventually, if the record becomes big where it needs to go, radio will come to you anyway. But I don't like, there's loads of other things that are just as important as radio.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, radio supports me a lot. So if you guys decide that you don't like a record, I don't really have a right to switch on you, because the record that I put out before this record you supported.
Yeah, no doubt.
So if you don't happen to like a record, then you don't happen to like a record. You understand what I'm saying? But I know that eventually you're going to like something because you've supported me over the way. It's like a relationship. If you find someone that loves you, you know they love you. That doesn't mean that you're not going to argue.
Do you know what I kind of think, yeah? Sometimes I kind of feel that there's a bit of... some artists can be hypocrites, in a sense. Because, you know, yes, maybe radio isn't as broad as it once was. Yeah. Right? Because obviously the pirate radio station thing isn't as massive as it used to be.
Yeah.
However, I feel like a lot of UK artists that are at a certain stage, at a certain level, I don't think that they gravitate to what they have as much as they should do. So I'll give you an example, yeah? It's like, people will sit there and look at all the things that they don't have.
Yes.
But they don't look at the things that they do have and try and build something to make that actually pop.
Like, for instance, for me, yeah, this year, the greatest thing that I found, and I didn't even realise it, was SoundCloud. Because SoundCloud kind of works like how I treat my music. I play it to my brethren. I call you up. Do you like this tune, Chucky? When you put a tune on YouTube, you're getting so much different traffic. Some of it's for your tunes. Some of it is just people on YouTube. Some of it is just whatever. SoundCloud is strictly music. Strictly. As soon as I set up a SoundCloud, my music started selling more.
Oh,
do you understand what?
For real?
Yeah. It's like I've got, right now, I've got YouTube, I've got Facebook, I've got Twitter, I've got SoundCloud, and I've got Instagram. And what I do is I make sure that I rotate those things first. And even before I go to radio, I need to make sure that there's a continuity of a song. Like, for instance, one song that I've got now that's popping off at the moment is Gone in the Morning.
Banging.
That's not even an assumption. It's fact. And that's before I've gone to radio. I haven't even gone to radio. That's the funny thing about it. I haven't even gone to radio with that record. Bang called me up and said, we want to play this record.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah? So...
That's what we do!
But if I didn't understand my world, and shouts out to Donaeo, and shouts out to Mark Bradford and B3 and Lance for pushing that record and having the platform and giving me that platform, right? And I didn't see on my Twitter, my Instagram, the sales, before I even go to radio, that this record is actually alright. Maybe if I do a couple of remixes and push it, and do you see what I'm saying? It's like, there's so many other platforms that I have, you know? Like when I did the Stay Scheming cover the other day, like last year, do you remember that?
Yeah.
That got me so many bookings. That was never played on radio. That was just the internet thing. I'll be going to PAs.
I played on the radio though, for real. But
thank you.
That's
but
what
you
I
always
do.
play my stuff.
Okay.
I think you're a little bit biased sometimes
That's
to me.
a beg friend thing, innit?
No. I think sometimes Chucky usually told me, D, this tune's rubbish.
Just for the listeners, it's Bang Radio 103.6. I've got Donaeo here. It's just not a beg friend thing, innit? Like, I just play them because I like it.
Yeah. So I would go to raves, right? And the DJ before me would play it just before I go on. So radio is a tool.
Slightly begging it still.
Nah.
I'm joking.
Radio is a tool like everything else. You know, it's supposed to be used at the right time, and you never disrespect your tools. Never. Because if it don't work on you and snap, that's the difference between you living and dying.
No doubt. Let's get into another record quickly because, you know, it's that time. I got Leave Me Alone featuring Cleopatra. Is this Miss Brat?
Miss Brat. Miss Brat. She said that she has to put the name back to Miss Brat.
I was just putting it back to Miss Brat, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, she don't know. Yeah, right now it's up and down, so I've left it at Miss Brat.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool.
My little sister right there.
This is banging. It's Bang Radio 103.6. Chucky online. I've got Donaeo here. It's definitely are, and I never usually talk out of the ad break like that, but I have to today, just because. Big up to LP as well. It's in the house.
What's happening?
He's letting me just go over just
Gate crash my show.
Yeah, you know what? It's like I got some more interrogation to go on with Donaeo.
Donaeo, innit?
Donaeo's in the house today.
Bomber fleas.
So yeah, I kind of like the jumper, by the way.
Thank you.
You know, you were saying something about coming to your interviews and sharpening up a little bit.
Yeah,
how important is it to, you know, be impressionable when you get to the radio station?
I wasn't really fussed about it before. You know what it is? I'm an artist that thinks like a writer, producer.
Okay.
So when I go to the studio, I'm like, I come straight from the studio in my tracksuit and I forget that I'm an artist as well. So
I do hear you. Well, let's just talk about the album now anyway, man.
Yes.
You know, you said that it took you a couple years to put the album together. How comes it took you so long?
Because, man, I changed direction like 3 times. So I ended up making, I think, like 3 or 4 albums. And then when it came to the last direction, I listened to everything. There was about 76 records. And I was just like, why don't I just pick the best ones? Instead of just making a garage album or an R&B album or a funky album, why don't I just pick the best ones from each, put them there, and that's what I dwindled it down to.
Donaeo,
Yes.
why are you not a DJ?
I am a DJ now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Because, you know, like with the music that you make, right?
You know I'm DJing on Saturday.
You're DJing on Saturday?
This Saturday's I'm holding an album launch for the Forest of Zephron at Vibe Bar. I've been DJing there every month, so if you want to come here with me. And then I've got the Zephron Parties has a box at Ministry of Sound for New Year's with Defected.
Okay.
And I'll be DJing there as well.
What made you become a DJ though?
I don't know. I've got an itch for it now.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I like the house music that's coming out now, and I'm just like, why not? And I'm getting older as well. I can't be asked to be singing on the mic.
It's funny that you say that, because some people might say you're getting older, you've been a DJ. You know, it's funny when I say to people, they're like, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a DJ, and they kind of look down like and say, oh, you're a DJ.
Yeah, but you can be a DJ
and then I want to go through this moment of when I want to put my peanut juice down, and I want to say, you looking at me like that, do you know what I do? Do you know what goes on in my world? But didn't you think about, I need to kind of, it's hard for me because his personality comes out sometimes.
Yeah.
But didn't you kind of, you know, later stages in your life, you're saying to yourself you want to become a DJ? Wasn't that something that just came through your mind like, it's not what I really want to do?
Huh?
Like, as you being an older man,
Yes.
yeah, a lot of people at a stage in their life don't want to become a DJ. They want to do things like maybe work in the industry, you know, but get into management or whatever it may
I'm
be.
doing that stuff though.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. Talk to me.
I've gotten into I'm signed to a company called Xenomania Stroke Bang the Audio,
Okay.
run by Brian Higgins and a girl called Carla Marie.
Sick.
And I've gone back into doing stuff for the industry, so I'm doing more like writing songs and producing in the background. But at the same time as well, it's like another reason I decided to become a DJ was, firstly, I started enjoying it. I just started mixing. And secondly, my product, if we talk about the PA side of my product, doesn't really work for clubs. It only works because I make dance music and I do good PAs. But at the same time, I'm asking people to stop dancing and look at me to perform. That should be really for a concert. That's why I don't really ask people to stop. I kind of mix it in. Yeah. Whereas if I was a DJ, I'd probably get more bookings, and it fits with the club. The DJ product fits more with the kind of club scenario. Do you know what I mean?
Bro, I believe that, like, in this deep house game, I know this is quite a controversial thing to say, but, like, you produce some very, very good music. Like, a lot of the stuff that you... This instrumental right here is, like, a lot better than some of the DJs that are out there touring the world making.
What tune is this? Because I ain't got my headphones.
This is Party Hard Deep Tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, the Gone in the Morning record was made by Donaeo Beats.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Khan for that.
So, no, I think it works hand in hand, you know, to be a DJ and to play this type of music, it makes a lot of sense. And you can, you know, some of the biggest DJs in the world are in their 50s. So,
and I want to do something different as well, bro, because I've been doing this for like ages. I want to see if I want to conquer something else. So those are the 2 new things I've done. Yeah. I've actually made a conscious effort to work for a production company, because Carla's written #1 hits for like Girls Aloud, and Brian wrote Believe for Cher and all that sort of stuff. So
okay, no doubt. All right, well, talk to me about this last record. We got to get out of here, but maybe we could do a part
Mrs. Green Thumb.
We don't have to do it here, but we could do it somewhere else.
I thought you guys have already played like Firehouse,
yes,
Party. You've played I Don't Play. You've played Gone in the Morning. So this song is called Mrs. Green Thumb.
The album's out now.
It's out now.
Yeah.
Right
so you
now.
can go and buy that on iTunes, right?
You can get that on iTunes right now.
Is there anything else that we need to know about you or about the album?
I'm gonna be my label Zephron. I'm taking that a lot more seriously. So I'm putting out artists like, you know, Anton. I've been doing a lot of licensing things. Like I got B3 and Storm and Anton to deal with Defected. So I'm doing a lot more background stuff. Like I've got a new artist called Geneva. She's wicked and stuff like that. So like right now, I am in a mode where I want to bring through new and younger talent and stuff like that. So check out Zephron. Go on my SoundCloud. I think for anything you want to know about me musically, go on my SoundCloud first. And that's just /Donaeo. And then once you go on there, then you'll see, because I've got loads of other producers going on as well. I've signed like 3 at the moment, so yeah.
And the most important thing I want to ask you as well,
Yes,
are you happy?
I'm always happy.
Yeah?
I'm happy now. I could probably see my management now and be like, hey, how you guys doing?
Oh, okay.
So I'm happy.
All right. Is that down to marriage?
I'm not married yet, but I am in a. Do you know what it is? I'm in a place when I had that interview with you, a lot of people broke my toys, shall we say, and I've just accepted that those toys are broken and they will never be fixed, and I've got new toys to play with and I've fixed things, so I'm not as angry.
It's basically, you're basically at a stage in your life where you realise that you just have to accept certain things that happen, right, and just keep it moving as opposed to dwelling on it.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
Yeah, but you know what? Like this is such a cliche thing to say, but if you can forgive someone properly, it actually is food for your soul. Yeah. If you can really forgive and get rid of the anger that you have for that person, then you're allowing space for other things to come in your life.
Do you believe in the saying when they say that you can't get angry without somebody else's consent? So basically they're trying to say that you can only be angry if you let somebody make you be angry.
Right. This is what I think to that, because I saw that interview, and this is the situation with that. You can't control how your emotions will react.
Exactly.
But you can control how your body reacts. So that saying is right, because if someone makes me angry, it doesn't mean I'm going to punch them. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know, everything really, you can control your actions and you can control what you put out there in the world. Okay,
cool. Donaeo, what I will say is it is very difficult to control your body reactions though, because when you wake up in the morning, anyway,
you were smiling before you even said that. You were smiling before you even said that.
We can't control that when we wake up in the morning.
6 in the morning.
Sometimes you feel a certain type of way.
You do. And if you have a beautiful wife next to you, show her how you feel.
Alright, we're going to leave it on this one. Mrs. Green Thumb, this is Donaeo. Thank you for coming through. LP's here.
Thanks for having me.
The next voice you're going to hear is going to be his.
Yaga.